biggest surprise this season? You know, what player surprised you the most? And I always had to take them back, and I said, well, you know, when I reflect back on the season, no player really surprised me. What surprised me was the team. The team, in my mind, overachieved. You know, we, as I've said to them many times, we lost 10 of 12 starters last year. You know, basically we lost 10 players who started for us 2 years ago to graduation. And normally, when you have to reload and rebuild, your performance of your team goes down. You know, because it's, you know, the younger players come up and, you know, they've never played varsity before, and as the varsity players can attest, it's a little bit different. But, you know, these girls didn't skip a beat. In fact, it wasn't that they didn't skip a beat, they in fact improved on the team from the previous year. You know, and I think you guys have all read in the Pioneer and other places that, you know, we had one of the best performances in the last 5 or 6 years. So, ladies, I want to congratulate you as a team. All right, and so we're going to kind of move through each player here. And up is senior. I think some of you may know her. If you don't, you should. She's a great role model, and as I said at senior night, she's just a delightful young lady. You know, one as a father, I'd be proud to have as a daughter. She didn't play a lot, but she supported the team in every way that she possibly could, and most importantly, by her comportment and her manners. So, I appreciate it very much. So, varsity letter, varsity shield, scholar athlete, senior captain, IHS senior academic scholar, another scholar athlete from the Central Suburban Association, varsity award. Patricia's a pretty amazing person.
Yeah, you are.
The reason it's amazing is because she didn't get her medical permit until half the season was over. But even though she couldn't play in the matches and she couldn't practice with us because she didn't have her medical permit, she still came to practice every day. And she used to come to practice every day, and I used to point at the wall and said, "Go to the wall, Patricia."
Yeah.
And she did. And she did. She kept a great attitude all through the season. And, you know, as a coach, if I ever needed something done, if I ever needed any help, Patricia was always there. And it, you know, for a coach to have a player like that, it means a great deal. So, Patricia, you showed great character, and I'm pleased to have had you on the team, and I'm looking forward to having you here next year. Congratulations. RHSA Scholar Athlete, and your varsity award. I love her. She reminds me, or she does remind me when I was a player in high school. And the reason she reminds me when I was in high school and as a player is that she is such a competitor. And I said this to her on her senior night. I'll make a long story very short. On the varsity, as you guys do have on the JV and freshman teams, you know, anybody can challenge anybody at any time. And so Forum was playing #1 doubles for us, and she was challenged, and unfortunately she lost the challenge. But, you know, a lot of players would have, you know, kind of put their head in the sand and, you know, felt sorry, woe is me, you know, gone into the Great Depression. Not one. The next day she said, "I want to come back and challenge." And she did, but she lost. But then she kept coming back. She kept coming back, and she kept coming back. And as I said at senior night, if the season was a little bit longer, there's no doubt in my mind that you would have got back in the starting lineup. So always keep that competitiveness, always keep that persistence, because that's a great trait. So I want to congratulate you on a great season. Okay. She's quite an accomplished young lady as well. Here's your varsity letter. Here's your Maine Scholar Athlete patch. Senior captain. IHSA Scholar. Central Suburban League Scholar. And your varsity award. Nice job. The word I associate with Marie, as reflected today, is thoughtful. For a couple reasons. She is a very caring and concerned young lady, and I remember her junior year. Unfortunately, she had to leave the team in the middle of the season because I think her parents said you had to stop playing, right? For a variety of reasons, right? And I was very sad when she had to leave the team because she was a contributor that year, just as she was this year. But most players, kind of drop the, after tennis season was over, it's like it's over. Okay, forget it. But all of a sudden, was it Christmas? Yeah, all of a sudden I get this gift from a player. And I'm going, what's this? And Marie had given me a Christmas gift. And I thought that was so special. And it really reflected on who Marie is. It's not about the season. It's a long-term relationship. And I appreciated that very much. And gratefully, as a team, we were very fortunate to have Marie all this season. And she was a big part of our team. And as I said on senior night, kind of some of the glue that held everything together. So, Marie, thank you very much. We have a variety of awards as well. You are a Maine East Scholar Athlete. Here's your athletic award. Here's your varsity captain award. You are an IHSA Scholar Athlete, Central Suburban League Scholar Athlete, and here is your varsity canvas. Okay. Cheryl is one of our seniors, and the word I associate with Cheryl, which I said senior night, is confidence. Cheryl was unable to start our season with us, and I think she had missed several matches, and she came back to practice, and I asked her, I said, well, get back in the lineup, you're going to have to challenge somebody. And I said, where do you want to? Do you want to challenge the bottom or the top? And she said, I want to challenge first doubles. And she did, and she basically won that challenge and held that position for the rest of the season. And I thought that showed great confidence. And when she played at first doubles for us, she played with great confidence and really represented Maine East well. So, Cheryl, I want to thank you for that, and thank you for showing the team and displaying that level of confidence. You have a bunch of awards. So here's your varsity letter. Here's your scholar athlete. Here's your senior captain award. Your IHSA Scholar Award. Your Central Suburban League Scholar Award. What can I say? I'm going to miss you. Anjali has been on varsity for the last 2 years and has been a big contributor to team. I can still remember her match her junior year when she was playing doubles with Brianna, and that was the deciding match that ended up where we won. We beat Maine West at Maine West, which was a great showing. And that level of consistency has been her calling card all through her varsity seasons, junior and senior year. And as I said before, she does not have the greatest attributes in terms of physical skills, but whatever she's lacking in not hitting the best forehand or the best backhand, she makes up with intelligence. She just is one of the brightest players I've ever seen on the court, and she uses her talents to the fullest, and that's one of the reasons I think you were so successful. So I think that trait's gonna help you in whatever you do. So congratulations. She is varsity captain, and there is probably some awards we're missing for you, because I know you're an IHSA scholar athlete, a CSL scholar athlete, and God knows what other scholars you are. So we'll have to get those. Jill, I wish you could have been practicing with us every day throughout the whole summer, because you had a great season, but you would have had a phenomenal season if you would have been there the whole summer. And I really mean, she did phenomenally well in every match that she played in, and she just got consistently better and better through the season, and probably has some of the nicest strokes on the team. You really hit a very nice ball, and besides that, you're just a very nice young lady. So I'm glad you're coming back next year. It's gonna be a great year. So for your awards, looks like you have a ton of them. Varsity letter. You're an IHSA scholar athlete, and also your varsity pin and award. Congratulations. Pauline played second doubles for us, and got better and better all through the season. In fact, I think she's probably one of the best athletic talents we have on the team. She's really quite gifted athletically. So I'm hoping that she is going to continue playing a racket sport in the spring, badminton, to keep those skills sharp. But she's much more than that. She is, in addition to being a big contributor to our team, she's one of the people that I've identified as having the most spirit. And by that I mean she's done things that has helped the team camaraderie and esprit de corps, and that means, again, a lot to the coach, but it's really a gift to the team, Pauline. So you'll not only be getting a varsity award, but you'll be getting the most spirit award on your name. Okay, I lied and I said that the biggest surprise was our team, but I did have one player that was a surprise, and that was Gina. By that I mean, I was just amazed when I would watch her matches. All of a sudden, it would be like she would hit like one of these Sharapova shots. Just rip the ball. That's like, is that Gina? And then it's like, I was like, wow. And then, there was just some amazing shots that you hit. And I would watch the opponents sometimes when you would hit those shots, and they'd be like, oh my God, where'd that come from? But it just showed me how much talent she had. And so I'm very excited that you're going to be coming back. And actually, you're sharing the Most Spirit Award with your partner. So I want to thank you for all the they would typically always win the first set, but then they would lose the second set. And I go to and it's like, and I have to tell them sometimes, the match depends on your match. And they would always respond, and they would always come back in the third set and pull it out. And it just always amazed me that you had that tenacity, and you could dig deep when you had to dig deep, and do some very exceptional things. You also are sharing the Most Spirit Award for your contributions to the team, and I appreciate it very much. Okay, Amila is one of those players that kind of, as Coach Saul talked about, just kind of had an amazing progression throughout the season, and kind of came into her own right around the conference tournament and the IHSA tournament. In fact, turned several coaches' heads when she started playing singles for us. She had been playing doubles through most of the season, and she asked me toward the end of the season, said, "Coach, can I play singles?" And I said, "Well, you got to challenge it," and you did. And she got a spot in the singles area, and she never looked back. She turned out to be an amazing singles player, and I'm expecting phenomenal things from you, because I think you're a very talented young lady, and as a result, you are going to be getting our Most Improved Player award. So. Jessica, when the word I associate with Jessica is prodigy. Once every several years, Maine East has a freshman that has all the gifts to potentially be a state champion. And I think Jessica is one of those people. She certainly demonstrated that playing number one singles for us at the varsity level. Coaches came up to me and said, "Boy, I sure wish I had that player." And I was like, "Yeah, eat your heart out." But I think she's got an opportunity to do some really great things, and we're looking forward to it, Jessica. Jessica was also recognized by the conference coaches, and as you guys know, we have the toughest conference in the state. I think Deerfield, GBN, Highland Park. Who am I missing?
Maine West and Isles.
Yeah. Three of those schools finished in the top 10 in the state. So for those coaches to vote you all conference, it's quite a feather in your hat. So congratulations. Brianna was the rock of our team. Whenever it always seemed when push came to shove and the match hinged on one particular match, it usually was Brianna's. And as a coach, I always felt very confident that we would have a player out on the court that who had that responsibility. She won her match, we would essentially win the match. And she came through multiple times in making the difference between winning and losing the team portion of the match. And even when she lost, she lost with great dignity. Again, coaches would come up to me and say, "Boy, what a nice player. What a nice player." And I said, for sure. So I'm gonna as a coach gonna be very sad, and I know your teammates are also gonna be very sad that we're gonna be losing great things at the college level. So, Yana, I'm going to give you a variety of awards here. Scholar Athlete, your Varsity Tennis Award, your Varsity Captain Award, your IHSA Scholar Award, your 3-year award, your Scholar Athlete Central Suburban, your Varsity Award, but probably most